have all the cards. We're not going to spend 15 hours in airplanes all the time going back and forth to be giving a document that was not good enough. I'll deal with whoever runs the show. They don't know. They are fighting with each other. There's tremendous infighting.
As the ceasefire clock ticks down, did the U.S. ever imagine Iran would end up capturing intact GBU and BLU missiles, the very weapons meant to break its defenses, and parade them as trophies? With IRGC engineers now studying these duds, is Tehran preparing to turn unexploded U.S. bombs into a trump card against Pete Hegseth's air campaign in the next round of war? If Iran truly has 15 advanced GBU BLU-class missiles on the workbench, what happens when those designs are reverse-engineered and folded back into the IRGC's own arsenal? And if Iran can copy or adapt these weapons, could versions of America's own bunker busters and glide bombs one day be turned back toward Israel or U.S. bases in the region? With Trump issuing new ultimatums while Iran holds some of his deadliest missiles intact, is Washington now more exposed to Tehran's reverse engineering game than it wants to admit? Iran's Revolutionary Guard is boasting of a rare haul of intact U.S. munitions, just as Trump issues a fresh 3-day deadline for Tehran to bow on Hormuz. State media say the cache includes advanced GBU and BLU series missiles left behind after recent U.S.-Israeli strikes on southern Iran. The IRGC says bomb disposal teams first neutralized the live warheads before sending the recovered missiles on to technical units for detailed analysis. Commanders openly state that all recovered missiles have been handed over for reverse engineering, hoping to strip out guidance, fusing, and warhead secrets. The Imam Sajjad Corps in Hormuzgan claims it has neutralized or destroyed more than 60 incoming missiles and drones since the war's opening strikes on February 28. That tally, they say, includes bunker buster bombs, cruise missiles, and advanced drones among the weapons shot down or found unexploded on Iranian soil. The IRGC now claims its bomb disposal work tied to the U.S.-Israeli campaign in Hormuzgan province is completed, implying the immediate danger from duds there has been cleared, at least officially. In Zanjan province, the IRGC's Ansar al-Mahdi Corps says it has recovered more than 9,500 unexploded bomblets scattered across fields and around sensitive sites. Officials allege those bomblets came from U.S.-Israeli cluster bombs used in aerial mining missions, designed to litter key locations with hidden explosives. The IRGC claims the aim was to contaminate critical and sensitive locations across Zanjan, making repairs and normal life dangerous long after the strike stopped. The same units say they neutralized or destroyed around 55 rockets and larger missiles in the province, adding to the picture of how much failed to detonate on impact. Among the most dramatic finds was a GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a huge bunker buster bomb the disposal teams say they defused and handed over intact to authorities. The discovery comes less than a month after the U.S.-Israeli attacks ended in a ceasefire, underlining how much unexploded ordnance was left behind in the rush to pause hostilities. Iranian media say all the recovered weapons are now being studied to boost Iran's own defense capabilities, feeding into a long-standing reverse engineering effort. All of this has unfolded as President Donald Trump issued yet another 3-day ultimatum to Iran, threatening fresh strikes on critical infrastructure if Tehran does not reopen Hormuz on his terms. Trump told Fox News that Iran now has 3 days before its oil pipelines explode from within. He also claimed there would be permanent damage to Iran's oil wells if oil flow is not restored. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "What happens is that line explodes from within. Both mechanically and in the earth. Something happens where it just explodes, and they say they only have about 3 days left before that happens. And when it explodes, you can never rebuild it the way it is. It's a very powerful thing that takes place sort of having to do with nature." Unquote. According to Trump, the ongoing U.S. blockade would create catastrophic mechanical stress inside Iran's oil infrastructure. He further claimed that this pressure could trigger spontaneous explosions underground and within transport lines. However, energy experts say pipelines are typically equipped with safety valves and sensors designed to halt pumping before such failure spiral. They also note that if oil cannot move through the system, operators usually stop production at the source itself. That is why some experts believe Iran may still have roughly 2 to 3 months of inland storage before any forced production cut becomes necessary. Iran's vice president and head of the Strategic Energy Policy and Management Organization, Ismail Sagab Esfahani, has also reacted. Esfahani warned that Iran would retaliate against countries backing any damage to its oil sector. In a sharp response on X, he said, "Our math is different. 1 oil well equals 4 oil wells." Ismail Sagab Esfahani said, and I quote, "If any part of our infrastructure, including oil wells, is damaged as a result of a blockade, we guarantee that 4 times the damage will be inflicted on the same infrastructure in countries that support the aggressor. Our math is different. 1 oil well equals 4 oil wells." Unquote.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.